What's up there, everyone? It's GG Sober Sun. Oh, look at that. Sunbeams through the clouds. Gotta love it. It's kind of a gloomy day today, but wind's out of the southeast. It's still got a little bit of sunshine hanging on over there. April 21st. After we've been in AA for a while, we find out that if we're going to stay sober, we have to be humble people. The men and women in AA who have achieved sobriety are all humble people. Well, I guess true sobriety, as they say. When I stop to think that, but for the grace of God, I might be drunk right now, I can't help feeling humble. Gratitude to God for His grace makes me humble. When I think of the kind of person I was not so long ago, when I think of the person I left behind me, I have nothing to be proud of. Am I grateful and humble? Well, in early recovery, it was the loud talkers, the proud talkers, the big talkers, and the flashy car drivers that really attracted me. The people, I didn't understand the principle of principles before personalities. And I thought it was the people, I didn't understand it was personalities that I was being drawn to. I put people on pedestals, especially if they talked like they knew what they were talking about, and AA's got a wrench for every nut, as I've heard it said. And the people who were the least humble were the ones I thought that were like the smartest and the ones that I should listen to. And sometimes they conflicted with what the big book said or something like that, And but I had people who were big book thumpers that were the most prideful, kind of arrogant, this is the way it's gotta be or else. But then, it's funny because a lot of the book, as Bill sees it, contradicts what the big book says sometimes, Like it was like, you hear people say, the steps are that in order for a reason. Yes, for the most part, this is true. But Bill Wilson says, I think it's on page 151 in As Bill Sees It. Not that I'm a As Bill Sees It book thumper. But he says that, the steps, you can pretty much jump in wherever, and I guess, and I think the one that people typically jump into too quickly is the 9th step. They go to make amends right away. And, and then they, a lot of times they screw it up. Well, guess what? Dr. Bob did that. He got sober for a little while and then went away to a convention and got drunk, and when he came back, he had something to do. He had a surgery to do or something like that, so they got him all sort of not sobered up really, but sedated enough to where he could perform and his hand wasn't shaking because it was a surgeon. And then they couldn't find him for like 6 hours after he performed the surgery. And then come to find out, he was going all over Akron making amends to people. Nobody really says how that went for him. As far as I know, there's no literature that talks about how that went for him or what form those amends took. But at any rate, as soon as you think you got it all nailed down, because especially as guys, we like to have a formula. Just show us the formula and we'll proceed with that. But and if we think we've got the formula down, we just keep applying that, and then that puffs our ego up. You see, and it's not good. Or we like to treat every sponsee exactly the same kind of thing. It's not good. We're in God's hands. The dark past is the greatest possession we have. Not what we think is right. Not what we think is the right way to go about sobriety. That'll get us into trouble. And now I sound like I know a thing or two about a thing or two. I don't. It's really about just doing the next right thing. So, meditation for the day. I must arise from the death of sin and selfishness and put on a new life of integrity. All the old sins and temptations must be laid in the grave, and a new existence rise from the ashes. Yesterday is gone. All my sins are forgiven if I'm honestly trying to do God's will today. Today is here, the time of resurrection and renewal. I must start now, today, to build a new life of complete faith and trust in God, and a determination to do His will in all things. Can't really say it any better. All my sins are forgiven today. And the only reason I need to ask is for my own reasons. God has already done everything necessary for me to have all my mistakes washed away and or put to good use. All that dark past stuff. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may share in making the world a better place to live in. I pray that I may do what I can to bring goodness a little nearer to the earth. Amen. And I'm going to leave it there, folks, because my son was trying to call through while I was yammering. So, love y'all. Look up, aim up, rise up.